Thanks so much for joining me. I think you probably can guess if it's a watch or a pass from that
That's a
introduction.
watch, baby.
Hey everyone, it's David Stark from Watch or Pass. Today I'm talking to Paul Raci, Grant Rosenmeyer, and HP Mendoza about The Secret Art of Human Flight, which is premiered at the Tribeca International Film Festival and is coming to theaters on July 5th, 2024. I'm going to talk to them right now, and while you're watching, if you can like and subscribe to this channel, that would be fantastic. I'll spend a lot. Thank you. So thanks so much for joining me. Today I've got Paul Raci, Grant Rosenmeyer, and HP Mendoza talking about The Secret Art of Human Flight, which premiered at Tribeca and is coming to US theaters on July 5th, 2024. It is a witty, whimsical, and wonderful journey. It is just a fun treat. I had no idea what to expect with that title and some of the things I've seen, but I loved it. I thought it was just really fun, fresh, and interesting. So I'm very excited to talk to you, and thanks so much for joining me. I think you probably can guess if it's a watch or a pass from that
That's a
introduction.
watch, baby.
So I guess first, I've been studying as well, so I'm going to see if I can get to the next level.
Pretty good.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, and I do see that you're all in chairs, so I'm sad that you have all, given up on the teachings. But maybe you've already ascended, and now you're like, you're well above that.
A lot on the tailbone, David.
Coffee first.
That's true. That's true. So, I guess the first question, HP, how did you get into this? Like, how did you get involved in this movie? This script is so interesting. Like, how did this come across your desk? And I mean, what was it that spoke to you about this? Because there's a lot that could be.
So one of my oldest collaborators, his name is Richard Wong, and I've known him since I was 17, and he directed a film called Come As You Are, starring Grant Rosenmeyer here. And because of that film, Grant Rosenmeyer and I became Instagram buddies, and the only way we ever communicated was through emojis. And randomly, Rich Wong says, "Hey, I want to take you to lunch because I want to ask you about this film that I'm looking at. I don't really have a take. It's called The Secret Art of Human Flight." And I thought it would be another lunch where I would like help him with a take so he can direct this. I didn't know he was thinking that maybe I should consider directing this. And then he connected me with Grant, and I gave the script a read. And I think one of the most interesting things about reading a script given to you by the lead actor is like you already know what it's going to look like, right? And I saw the film, and one of the things I said is, look, it's kind of a tough time for everybody right now. This is smack dab in the middle of the pandemic, by the way, right? Like we're all in lockdown, we're all disconnected from each other, and I kind of saw the script as a chance for a connection, and I thought it was really interesting to consider directing a script that I didn't write for the first time in my career. And here's this guy named Jesse Orenshein writing a script about connection, and I absolutely wanted to do it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And I agree. Like during the pandemic, what I wouldn't have given to just be able to like shoot off and fly somewhere, just or just do something weird and kind of focus on something else that would take up your time. So Grant, you were already involved in this movie when HP got involved in it, or?
Yeah. So the beginning of COVID, I started my production company, Florida Hill. We had made Come As You Are, or I had made Come As You Are already. But my good friend Barry Galprin came to me and said, "Why don't we do this in earnest?" And one of the first scripts that he found for us was this one, Jesse's script. And I read it. I remember vividly. I read it on a plane in August 2020. I was on a flight back to Los Angeles from visiting my parents, and it was one of those Delta flights where you have the whole row to yourself, and you're taking a risk just being on a plane. And I read it top to bottom, and I just wept. And then I read it again, and because it was a really tight script, and I wept again, and I laughed. And as soon as I landed, I called Barry, and I just said, "We got to do this. We got to make this right now." And I talked to we talked to Jesse. That was a Monday. Talked to Jesse on Wednesday. By Friday, we had all agreed to do it, and by Monday, I actually showed the script to Richard Wong, and we started it. It went really fast. It was so beautiful, David. It really, from the get-go, was so synthesized already, and it was so kind of what all of we creatives involved needed at the time. And I think we all agreed that it's something that an audience needs. And it takes however long it takes to make a movie, to edit a movie, to distribute a movie, to get it out. And it's new when it's new. But I do really feel like so grateful and relieved at this point that it's coming out, and it will exist for people who need a laugh, need to cry, need to connect. And it's just there for whoever needs it.
For sure. And I love how you mentioned how the script is beautiful. The film is also very beautiful. It has a really kind of striking style. Like, I don't know where you came up with this like old school camera style and like the, old timey text for it. But, was that part of the script or was that kind of your vision, HP? Because I loved it. It kind of instantly draws you in.
I mean, it's something that's been a part of my obsession for like the past few films I've done. Like I love silent film cards. Like I love just the way text looks like when it's in like frames. I love that font. That's a very classic font that's used for a lot of films from the 70s. And the reason I wanted to do that was I remember reading this and thinking, this feels like a lot of those character dramas from the 70s. This feels like or like, I know Defending Your Life doesn't really fall into that category, but kind of that kind of film that kind of goes through like one person's life. And the one thing that we had to contend with was we had very small spaces. Like it was a very small house. It was a very New England house. And in order to shoot it at a typical like wide aspect ratio, we'd have to like knock walls down, right? Or take a big camera and cut everybody off at the waist. And in a movie about flight, we want to see their feet because we want to see them grounded and imagine them during the film. I want the audience to be able to imagine them leaving the ground. So we need height. So Marcus Menzer was the director of photography on this film. He had just come off of shooting Top Gun Maverick. And so he was like, dude, we could like work. Do you want that camera? I'm like, that IMAX camera with the 4:3 frame? Let's absolutely do that. That'll give us height. That'll get us so we can actually shoot things and make it look more spacious than it actually is. So I feel like, yes, it is like an older look, but it's using very modern technology.
That's awesome. And what a great coincidence. And yeah, I do appreciate that you were able to kind of see their full, profile. And I think that does help a lot. Paul, how did you get involved in this film as well? When did this come across your desk and when did you sign on to this project?
Well, I'd already gone through the whole Oscar process, and then I was looking to go to my first Netflix thing, and I got a letter from HP telling me about the project. I read the script. I also had a very emotional reaction after reading it. So there was some time right before I started filming this Netflix movie, 21 days, which is exactly what it took to shoot Sound of Metal, 21 days for no money. But it was something that you got to do. I mean, Netflix is beautiful. Amazon is beautiful, but there's something about being under the gun for 21 days. You only get 3 takes, and we're moving on. But there's a lot of heart and a lot of soul in this on this set. So I was glad to get it in. It was a great experience for me.
Yeah, for sure. And given the, short amount of time, how did you come up with, your guru character? Was some of that in the script? Was some of that like, your own personal kind of take on this character? Because I loved it. Like you're so out there, but also just so instantly like, relatable.
Well, it was written very well. And from my own experience, when I moved to Los Angeles in the early 90s, I was church hopping at the time, looking for some gurus of my, and why am I not a working actor? There's always a hole I was trying to fill with everything. So I went on my journey, my spiritual journey. I ran into a place in Culver City here, a spiritual center. And they had mealworm characters all over the place. The 2 guys that ran the church were mealworm characters, these are black guys who were former drug dealers wearing this garb, walking around and preaching this thing about God is everywhere, God is everything, this whole unity type thing, universal. And so my mealworm at the time, his name was Nirvana. He was my spiritual teacher. So everything that mealworm, the way he behaves, dresses, that's really my own take of a whole amalgamation of people that I met here, right here. He's very Los Angeles, David. He's a Los Angeles preacher. Okay. I love that this movie is shot so that it's a small time Ohio or maybe or something, but Mealworm's got that RV and he just
Yeah, he can be anywhere. He can be anywhere he's needed.
Oh yeah.
Technically, it's a Winnebago.
That's right. Technically, it's a Winnebago.
Technically.
So, Grant, we just talked about Paul's transformation. You had, a pretty impressive transformation as well in this film. How did you go about doing that? Did you, come in a little bit, won't say overweight. Did you come in like bulked and then trim down, or did you come in trim and then bulk up throughout?
Nice.
So, as Paul pointed out, we only had 21 days to shoot this movie, and it takes place over the course of months. So we had to sort of sell a massive transformation without actually doing much of a transformation. And HP has a lot of, history and background, not just with making movies, but also with music and also with dance and movement. So it was a lot of, posture, but a lot of also just hunch over, stick your belly out, and then a lot of there was a lot of trickery with the body, and then so it wasn't really necessary. I didn't really have the time to bulk up or slim down. It was all just sort of sleight of hand, as they say, and wardrobe, also wardrobe, sleight of belly.
Sleight of belly. I could use some of those tips for. I could use some of those tips for my, my own social media pictures. So maybe I'll email you offline to get some of those tips for how to look bigger.
This is a normal selfie. Up, tilt, chin up, forward. There you go. Lost about 20 pounds.
Free tips. So I know we have limited time. I'm going to switch to very quick, lightweight questions about the film. I want to see how your personal experiences map to things in the movie. These are all just going to be related to the challenges. So I want to see if any of you have done any of these challenges. First question, have you signed under a guru? I know Paul has. Grant or HP, have you ever signed under a guru?
If I did, I wouldn't have known, because if I could be honest with you, I kind of run from guru types. I learn from people who I think have a lot to give me, and it's not until I've learned it that I realize, oh shit, maybe you're a guru. But anyone who comes to me and says, I have a lot to give you, I'm just like, how about you just dole it out like as I'm ready for it, because I'm not ready for your wisdom. And maybe that's a personality flaw. Maybe that's just me being arrogant, but that's just how I am.
Yeah.
I would give the exact same answer. It's often in retrospect we realize that somebody was really helping us.
Perfect. Have either of you ever had to lose or gain 18 pounds?
Yes. For Come As You Are, I had to gain weight for that character. Actually, I was trying to lose weight and then ended up gaining it.
I'm an intermittent faster, so I highly recommend it. You want to lose 20 pounds really quickly? Read about intermittent fasting. It's a lifesaver.
Sure.
Yeah, Grant made me lose 18 pounds to direct this film. No, I've never, I've never been in that situation, and that's why I don't envy that part of acting.
And the last question, have you ever drank any sort of special teas to help you on a spiritual journey?
On a weekly basis? Sorry. Yes. Yeah, mushroom teas. I'm very much about doing heroic doses of mushroom tea. I like. Is it okay to say this, you guys? Yeah, mushroom tea. I'm gonna say yes.
Know where you are.
Yes, that's a yes here.
All right. I see Grant is probably taking the fifth, so we'll.
No comment.
All right. So you can see some of those challenges and this wonderful, heartfelt, whimsical movie about overcoming grief and some of the extremes that we will go to. It is The Secret Art of Human Flight, coming to theaters on July 5th, 2024. Definitely check it out. It is unique, fun, and it kind of will make you laugh and cry throughout the film. This is Paul Raci, Grant Rosenmeyer, and HP Mendoza. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, David.
Thank you, David.
Awesome. Thank you so much. This was fun. That was Paul Raci, Grant Rosenmeyer, and HP Mendoza talking about The Secret Art of Human Flight, which premiered at the Tribeca International Film Festival and is coming to theaters on July 5th, 2024. It is a witty, whimsical, and wonderful tale about one person's grief and the extreme steps they go to overcome it. I absolutely loved it. It has a fantastic style, really great sense of humor, and kind of an overall wondrous journey. I really think it was a fantastic movie and a nice surprise, and I'm really glad I was able to talk to these people. So if you like this interview, please like and subscribe to this channel. It helps me out a lot. Make sure all my new content goes straight to you. Thank you.